Welcome to everyone. This is Babu Rao Punchala. Today, I would like to discuss about the Ambedkar contribution towards women rights. This is very important topic for UPSC exam. Not only UPSC, for all competitive exams. So Ambedkar and his contribution to women rights. Ambedkar is not only fight against the untouchability, and he also fought for the rights of the women. So now here we are going to discuss about Ambedkar contribution towards the women rights. So why we need to discuss about him? Why in news? That is the first important thing we need to understand. So everyone knows that recently on the day of Ambedkar Jayanti, it is imperative to recognize his work that brought women to the center of the development process. And this is a time to remember Ambedkar contribution towards the women rights of the women, and contribution to uplift the women rights or women position. So now here, one by one, and according to Ambedkar, he made one statement, a beautiful statement. Then according to Ambedkar, I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have achieved. But a beautiful statement mentioned by Ambedkar. And his statement, if you observe, I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have achieved. This is the statement given by these words of the Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. That means when women got the full rights or equality in society, then that society is called progressive society or progressive community. This is the actual meaning of the Ambedkar. So now here, Ambedkar, what are the efforts taken by the Ambedkar towards women rights? What are the efforts taken by the Ambedkar? The first one here, very important point here, equal participation of women. The equal participation of women here, if you observe, Ambedkar advocated for equal participation of women in both personal and professional spheres. In personal and professional, it might be politics, it might be any activities, equal participation must be required. Equality in wages, equality in political scenes, equality in society, and everywhere, equal participation required according to Ambedkar. So next one here, Ambedkar, unequal treatment of women in factories. He also focused on these areas. He is the first to raise his voice against unequal treatment of women in factories and other workplaces. He is the first person who raised his voice against the unequal treatment of women. And he was instrumental in reducing working hours and improving working conditions of the women. That is also important. And he fought for the reducing working hours for the women and improving working condition for women. That is also very important. And next one here, equal pay and equal rights. You know, students, here, he drafted legislation such as the Mines Maternity Benefit Act, which demand equal pay and equal rights for the coal mine workers. Equal pay and equal rights. Both men and women are equal. They should get the equal wages and equal rights. No discrimination. This is the strategy or stand of the Ambedkar. That is the equal pay and equal rights. Next one here, maternity leave for women. He also focused on these areas. He ensured that the question of the maternity leave for women was brought up and they were protected under labor laws. That is also very maternity leave for women also he was focused. So next one here, reproductive right of women. Reproductive right for women here. He was a strong believer of it and urged them to make their own choice about the conception. That is their choice. And women has complete right on the reproductive. That's very important again here. And he also against the Jogini system and Devadasi system. And he fight against Dalits Dalit who was against the Devadasi system. He was actually, most of the Dalits here, who is actually engaging like a Devadasi system, and he completely against that. He completely against the Devadasi system and Jogini system. That is also one of the contribution of the Ambedkar. And next one here, birth control facilities. In 1938, Ambedkar, as a legislative assembly member of Bombay, he recommended that birth control facilities be made available to women. He recommended that in Bombay Assembly. That is also important. And next one here, his major contribution towards the Hindu Code Bill. It addressed a variety of issues, and you can see the contribution of the Ambedkar. A variety of issues you can see. So then Ambedkar, here he mentioned particularly property rights. And this Hindu Code Bill actually it abolished the idea of birthright to property and unequal ownership of the property. That is one thing we need to understand. And next one here, abolition of caste. He was focused again here, abolition of caste system. It supported the abolition of caste in matters of marriage. That is also actually encouraged by the mentioning Hindu Code Bill. Next one here, polygamy and divorce. Polygamy and divorce is the third one here. It addressed taboo topics such as polygamy and divorce. That is also here you can see in Hindu Code Bill. Next one here, conjugal rights. The conjugal rights, it led to the restitution of conjugal rights and judiciary rights, which enabled women to consciously make divorce their choice. And he fight for the women rights. So now if you observe here from the Hindu Code of Bill, the following acts were passed. From the Hindu Code of Bill, the following acts were passed. So let us take here one by one here. The first one here you can see Hindu Marriage Act 1955. That Hindu Marriage Act 1955, according to this act here, right to divorce and maintenance. This is actually first one. And second act you can see here, the Hindu Succession Act 1956, a legal right to inherit property. That is also here, you can see, adopted from the Hindu Code Bill. And next one here, third one here, the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act of 1956. It's a legal right for women to adopt a child. This total contribution of this Hindu Code Bill is, Ambedkar. So next one here, the Hindu Minority and Guardianship Act 1956. Granted women the status of natural guardian of her children. That is also one thing you need to understand. So now here, these reforms led to the enactment of Equal Remuneration Act of 1976 and the Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961. These total reforms led to the enactment of these Equal Remuneration Act and Dowry Prohibition Act 1961. Then here also I'm in here caste system. His paper on caste in Indian outlines how atrocities on women are rooted in the caste system and denounced sati, child marriages and the condemnation of widow marriages. That is one more thing you need to understand. So next one here, Ambedkar particularly mentioned, and here he actually mentioned three statements if you observe here. Unity is meaningless without the accompaniment of women. There is no meaning without accompaniment of women. Education is fruitless without educated women. Education is incomplete without the strength of the woman. This is the actual views or opinion of the Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So he fought for women rights, and he actually fought to uplift the women, and he encouraged the women empowerment, and he fought for equal rights for the women. So he also calculated the progress of the society with the empowerment of the women. That means here, if education is fruitless without education women, then again here, the progress, complete the progress of the society is depending on the women, according to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. This is the major contribution of the Ambedkar towards women rights. Thank you. Thank you, students.